Hi, Muhammad.
Hi,
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
thank you so much. So do I really that I'm very glad to meet you here.
I'm really looking forward to our conversation about your work. I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh, thank you so much. That's make me more extremely happy. That's because I know about you also, and I know about from the program for Afak and all this stuff. So yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, Common Grounds, exactly. The Arab documentary program and
Yes.
Magnum Foundation connection.
Yeah.
But before we start our conversation, can you maybe just introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about where you're based, what work you do. Give us a brief introduction.
Okay. I'm from Cairo, Egypt. I'm based in Cairo. Originally, that my roots come from Upper Egypt, but I was born in Cairo. And I started photography since I was young. With my when I was traveling with my father, he was like shooting with point and shoot camera, so I started to use it a little bit. Then I stopped and come back again to in 2011 with the revolution. I was shooting with mobile only, and then in 2016 I start to get a semi-professional camera and shoot with it, and then take some courses for and workshops for photography to understand more, and then get my camera. In 2019 I started my workshop with the Danish School of Media and Journalism, Cairo program. And then I started another scholarship with Seven Academy, and then with Canon Development Program, and I was mentorship by Mohamed Hozyen. And then I got the grant of the Arab documentary established with AFAC and Magna Foundation Prince Klaus. And then another workshop with Foundry, and I have exhibited my work in Jordan with my long-term project that I'm still working on till now, and I'm still so on keep going with my photography.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, you've had a quite a long, you've had some experience with photography. You studied it, and now you've been practicing it, and now you're digging deep into your, long-term projects. Can you remember your earliest memories of photography? Can we zoom back in your life and talk about your earliest memories?
Yeah, that's I remember that as I told you that when I was young, that like my dad that let me love traveling so much. So when I was traveling, that make me like to see the world around me when I was young, and this like affected me until that I grew up. And let me see that I have to document every second go wherever I go to shoot. So that was my memories of this photography when I was young, really. Yeah.
How would you describe your photography today?
Changes a lot, and like I feel like it's a revolution with photography, with how to use different mediums in photography, like writing on the pictures, voices, audio, videos, all mediums are together. Like they are combining a lot of things that which is like to make it more not perfect. We can because nothing perfect, but it's almost beautiful, perfect. Yeah.
And I mean, from what I've seen from your work, you speak about deeply personal issues, but you also link it to the larger scale of, what's happening in your world in terms of, for instance, if we're going to talk about your project, if they move,
If they move me, I die.
I die. You're speaking about your your experience with your mother and the passing of your mother, this idea of transience in life, and then looking at development in Egypt, right? Can
Yes.
you maybe expand a bit about that? Tell us a bit more
When
context.
yeah, when I started this project that I started in 2019, I started first with the Danish school, but I expanded more to because I was thinking more when I talked with my grandmother, and she told me about her memories about what she's feeling. So that make me like a core to work in that, which is like the meaning of home, the meaning of lost, change, memories, social fabric. Yes, and many come from me that my meaningful loss eternally and externally. So it's like it's a huge skill that I'm working on till now, and I keep like identity also one of the things that I'm thinking about, I'm talking about also. I started first that with like it was so tight with only with my grandmother, but from the stories that she told me about where she live, where she go, where she used to go, because she don't go out from home anymore right now because she's still old. So she left me curious to go out, to look around, focus, search and focus about what everything happened in the city. I found myself lost in my city using GPS to go around. After that, I was that my GPS was here. So I was going in around city everywhere I go, and I found that a lot of places we are losing, and that make me focus about a lot of many areas that to go for, and I'm still working with that. Also, I found out that it's not about the people alive; it's also about the dead people, which is that the transfer and this place, the graveyards over here, and our graveyards, my family graveyards are under threat of that. They might be displaced also. So it's from my home of my grandmother and from my our graveyards. So that's make me like very curious, keep looking around, but in the same time with high level security for myself.
Wow, so beautiful. What's so beautiful is how you were mapping the city through your grandmother's memories and navigating the space, and that allowed you some greater awareness also of what was happening around you. I'm curious. In your work, you use a lot of. I mean, you don't just do straight photography. You use a lot of text. You speak about sociological issues. So there's this mixed media that plays into your photography. Can you describe to us your creative process, like how you go about your work as a
That's take a lot of process, take a lot of time, really.
in a nutshell, if you can just summarize it maybe in a few lines.
No, I just like this picture that I made. That is another project that I stopped because of the crisis of pandemic Corona. I like to travel a lot around the country. So while I'm traveling, that I found out something like very curious that make me like someone tell me just one word that's to let me that think about what this word means. So he let me just sit and stay, listen to him or hear that what they are living, what they are doing, what they are looking for. Some people like their life is very simple and they doesn't want anything, just they want this life simple, but life's so hard against them. So that's make me like to see that what they want. Otherwise, that I'm also looking for the social, to find out like some kind of athletic sport fight games that the community how it look like, how they are struggling with, how they make their living and they make their passion in the same time. So that's all make me curious about to keep deep inside to find out what they want, what they are looking for.
Maybe we should have a look at your winning photograph. And can you tell us the story behind this?
Yeah, this come out from a project that I told about that I'm working on before the Corona. It's called the Mud Houses, the project. It's about people who are living and working in the same time in a place made by mud and bricks only. And their living is very simple, but in same time they got like a lot of crisis by the government. They load of taxes because they have oven and they make fire and smoke, so which affect the environment. So they are trying to make a living in the same time that they are aware from the government that they making a lot of high tax above them. So I'm trying to follow them. I'm trying to work with them. But they are out of Cairo, so I need to travel back and forth to go for and stay. Sometimes I sleep in my car to have some rest and come back to shoot with them. And it's a very close community that it's very hard to also communicate with them to understand what picture is, what project is. So that's also something like I'm struggling with them about.
I'm curious, like, how do you build trust with the people that you photograph? If they're not familiar to you, if you don't know them, how do you approach them? What's your rapport as a photographer with them?
Yeah, I try to first that to shoot some picture for them, beautiful pictures, and stay how they work, what they doing, what they come this like this mud, what they come this mud from, how they build it, how they shape it, and no photograph. I just stay with them and start photograph a little bit, and then I move and come back again with printed photograph, and we give to them. Some we see some like in newspapers, like some reportage about them, so we bring this reportage for them. Look how we see that people speak about you. Look how that you are in the picture in the news. You are familiar now, you are famous, so they feel like a little bit trust with you, so they keep talking. And when you present for them a printed picture, it's not like the technology that you see a picture on the screen, but when you are given in your hand, it's meaningful more. So that's, I think, that make a build of trust with them.
Absolutely. Muhammad, do you feel that photography can impact change? That it can, affect, even if it's a slight, drop in the ocean, can it make a difference somehow?
Yeah, I think it could be, and sometimes it happens many times really that it makes change and many impacts. Like I would say, like I will give an example, like for a project for called Moon Dust for Muhammad Mahdi. The area that the factories and stuff there, that where it changes and people try to help there, and some organizations that come there and help the people and to heal them, affect them from this factories. Someone like Mohamed Hozyen also, that the photography starts from him, that after he was war and in conflicts and shooting that, now he is have something else that like the everyday refugees, and help all the refugees through the pictures. So that's the impact pictures that can make.
And what does photography mean to you? Why do you make photographs?
It's a hard question, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can just start from a simple emotion. It can be the way that you feel you can express yourself. It can be a lot of things.
For me, it always comes from traveling. Traveling make like I feel that traveling for me important more than pictures, because I'm traveling to discovering, scouting, find people that nobody know about them at all. Nobody know about them lifestyle, how they are something like neglected. I'm trying also to connect my project. If I move from here, I would die to with my roots, which is Upper Egypt, that they are also neglected. So I'm trying to like wire with that, between Cairo and this way. So traveling and looking around and moving here, moving there, that find like interesting people nobody know about them. So that which is that, like, you can give them the voice that through the photography. That's the only way that photography can do for them, because they don't have any voice to give.
So your project, if they move, can you tell me the full title?
If they move me, I die.
If they move me, I die. It was very much about personal loss and also about the loss of, home, and about just feeling this sense of displacement in your comfortable space, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when you completed the project, did it give you a sense of closure in any way? What did you feel after completing the work?
I'm not completed yet. It's not completed. I'm still working till now. I'm shooting, still shooting.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like we could say that like a long part of it, like chapter one or chapter one and two that are finished or something like that. Um, Sometimes I feel like many collision of feelings about that. Like I'm still losing something because it's not it's about what I lost and what I'm losing. Because during this project also, I lost my mother. She got cancer, and after 6 months she died. And the mother of my grandmother is the mother of my mother. So that's the connection that we lost together. So I'm losing internally and externally. So it let me like sometimes I feel like introvert a little bit after that. I'm not like not extrovert. I'm more introvert right now. I'm with my own self more and more. Still trying to know what I want, what I'm looking for. Sometimes I feel lost in the lost. So so I'm still searching about myself. I still like healing from my trauma.
Absolutely. And I think you just expressed it so beautifully, this feeling of feeling lost in the loss. It, yeah, says so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing these thoughts with us, really. I know it's not hard, it's not easy, it's very difficult, and it's a hard subject to discuss. So I really appreciate I appreciate it, Muhammad.
Thank you so much.
I'm just curious. Okay, so you mentioned a few of the long-term projects you're working on. Is there one that you want to highlight and maybe tell us more about?
The other one that I'm working on, I'm back and forth between these two projects. This other project that I'm working on, it's about the MMA community in Egypt. It's the martial arts art. That's because nobody know about it. It's a fight, very bloody fight game. I'm like following some other players that are playing this game, like two boys or two or three, and another two girls. Especially the girls are like they're very aware, like family problems because of this game and lifestyle and confidence because this girls get confidence from this game while they are playing because he doesn't have any confidence at all. And also it's about like protect themselves from harassment because one of them got three or four times harassment since she was young, one from one of her relatives and one from her teacher and one from her coach was while he was training her. So that was affecting her so much. She want to be more stronger, more fighter, and she want to be exposed. She want to be um, um, a worldwide player, not only local player.
Yeah.
And they are struggling with that. No good sponsors, and sponsors are uh, like what's the word to find it?
You can say it in Arabic.
They are cheating with them, like the average that to make the contract to give them a commission of 60%, and he get like 30 or 40% for the agent, but it's the opposite. He take like 80% and gives them 20%, which is nothing for them. So but outside that it's totally different. So that's what I'm following. I'm still like working on because it's still working on till now. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds, yeah, it sounds amazing. It sounds really interesting. And lastly, we've taken up a lot of your time. Before we end the conversation, I'm curious what you think Tasweer, the festival, can do better in terms of supporting photographers from the region. How do you think it can improve?
They already really last 2 years they improved so much really, that with the selection of photographers they got, especially in this festival for this year. I think also that they can improve with it's not about the festival, it's not about the current time that we are now. I think that we have a very high level of good photographers in our region, which is we should keep supporting them, not with only one time. I think that it's a family. Keep focus with them, looking for them, following them.
Yeah.
What they are doing, highlight on them all the time, what they need, what they are struggling with. Maybe some areas of in our Arab region that are missing a lot of workshops. They improve to themselves to work and to expose their work more, to make your work from here that to explode, to be something very big, very strong. And we have the material for that. Our stories here are more stronger than any other area in the world, really.
Wow, really beautifully said, Muhammad. And I think it's so important that you highlighted the sense of community, that it shouldn't just be a one-time thing, that it should be fostering this community of photographers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And really, it was such a pleasure talking to you. I'm so glad I finally met you in person. And I look forward to your future projects. I'll be following you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to meet you as well also, and have this nice conversation with you.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.